Caroline, and I wanted to talk to you today about 10 powerful affirmations that you can use to attract more wealth of abundance. Now, I will call out from the outset that this isn't your typical feel-good affirmations video. I'm actually going to give you these affirmations but with a very specific purpose, and it's probably not what you think. So first up, I thought I'd actually explain what an affirmation is, because even though I hear about it a lot, not everyone might be familiar with the term. So I actually thought I'd give you a very official definition of an affirmation, and so I went and checked the dictionary, and the dictionary said an affirmation is to affirm that something is true. And straight away sort of alarm bells went off, and I just remembered my English teachers saying you can't use the word you're trying to define in the definition. So that kind of breaks that rule. So I thought not overly helpful if you don't know what an affirmation is. So another way I can explain what an affirmation is that it's like stating a declaration. So stating that you firmly believe that something is true. But I would go a step further and say that you're also combining that with intention. So it may not be a fact in the present moment that that thing is true, but you're stating with all of your intention, and it's something that you want to attract to you, or that you believe will be true, in a place and time in the very near future. So as an example, you might say, I'm an awesome and powerful money magnet. And whether you entirely believe that to be true in the present moment, you're still putting an intention out there that that's the way you'd like to be. And equally, often people will use it around a specific money amount. So they'll say, I've attracted $1 million, or I bring $1 million easily into my life. And so you may not have that $1 million today, but you're certainly putting that intention out there, and you're stating that that's going to be true at a point in time. So hopefully that makes sense around what an affirmation actually is. And so the way that you frequently get taught by probably a lot of personal development gurus to use affirmations is that you come up with a list of statements that you want to declare with intent, so that you can attract those things into your life. But one of the things that you might hear me say a few times in my videos is that in a lot of cases affirmations don't work. So again, you might be wondering why I'm going to give you 10 powerful affirmations if they don't work. So let me explain why they don't work a lot of the time. The simple reason is that if you don't believe them, then they don't work. Because it's like repeating something and you're hoping that it will come true, but every time you say a statement like I'm, easily attracting $1 million into my life, there's a little voice in your head that while you're saying this affirmation is, and excuse my language, is sort of going bullshit. And so part of you is resisting the very thing that you're trying to put out there as an intention. So these affirmations that I'm going to give you today actually have a dual benefit. So the first one is, and the whole reason I'm giving them to you, is that I want you to identify your resistance around these affirmations, because that's really the key to then being able to go on and use affirmations that work. And so that's the second benefit. So if you can learn to identify that resistance and then ultimately clear the resistance, then you end up with this great set of affirmations that will really work for you, because you would have worked through all the reasons that you might be rejecting those affirmations. And so I'm going to give you these 10 powerful affirmations, and I'm going to give you a little test. So what I want you to do is, as I go through and I say each of these affirmations, I want you to just have a mental check. So listen to the statement and then note your level of belief or disbelief around each statement, and give yourself a score out of 10. So for example, after I say the first statement, if you don't believe it at all, so you're thinking, oh no, that doesn't feel true for me. And by the way, it might not even come out in the form of disbelief. It could be that it sparks anger, or it reminds you of maybe an area that you failed at before. Like, it might bring up any kind of negative emotion, and we'll treat that as disbelief. So if you're right there and feeling really triggered by that, then you give yourself a 0. If you completely believe it, and when I say completely believe it, it's highly likely to be something that you're already doing effectively or that you've mastered in the past, then you give yourself a 10. So your score could be anything in between as well. And you'll notice as well that when I give you these affirmations, they're not all specifically focused on money, even though I'm saying they're designed to attract wealth and abundance. And there's a deliberate reason for that, and that is because really having a strong money mindset means that you've got balance in all areas of your life, because it requires you to overcome all forms of self-sabotage, which can happen in a number of areas. Like it could be your productivity, it could be your ability to learn, it could be, you know, your stickability or your commitment to things. And so I'll touch on a few different areas, but ultimately they're designed to help you take empowered action, which when you do that effectively, you will form that strong money mindset and you will bring about tangible results. And it's sort of like these things work hand in hand as well, because when you don't believe in affirmation, then you do self-sabotage and you end up not getting the results. And when you don't get the results, then you don't believe your affirmations even more. So you end up in this vicious cycle. And so, you know, you can really start at either end of the spectrum. You can start with sheer willpower trying to change your results, or you can work on your affirmations and your resistance, and then you'll start to see that get reflected in your results. So let's dive into it. And if you've just joined in, I'll just sort of repeat what I said before. So I'm going to give you a little test where I'm going to call out 10 affirmations, and I want you to rate yourself on a scale of 0 to 10 in terms of whether you believe them or not. So 0 being you don't believe them at all and you don't think they're achievable for you, and 10 being, yeah, you completely resonate with it and you're probably already doing that. So if you're catching up on the replay as well, so if you're watching live, you can just do it in your head. If you're catching up on the replay, then you can either just listen in and do the same exercise, or you can even write these down, because then you'll have a great list of affirmations that you can keep with you going forward. Okay, so let's dive into it. So number 1, I'm enough right now, no matter what. Number 2, I'm financially free and I live in a home I love. Number 3, money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis, and I make over $1 million per year. And by the way, that's one that I borrowed from Bob Proctor. Number 4, I'm happy, confident, and I radiate positive energy, calmness of mind, and love. Number 5, I'm an articulate speaker and I present with conviction. Number 6, I generate profits with ease and in masses. Number 7, I always arrive early for my appointments. And that's actually a great one for people who find that they're always late, because I do find that does stem from your own form of self-sabotage, but also self-limiting beliefs. Number 8, I am focused and productive. Number 9, I'm a master of strategy, execution, and outsourcing. And number 10, I always do what needs to be done at once. Okay, so there you go. They're my 10 powerful affirmations for attracting wealth and abundance. And thanks, Jens, for joining and chipping in there. I'm not sure which one you rated, but awesome that you've given yourself a 10 on one of those. So comment below and let me know which one was a 10. I'd love to hear which one really resonated with you. And oh, Eben, awesome, you've put all your scores in there. That is really cool. I love that you went through and you did that. So again, if you're catching up on this replay, then go through and rate yourself. It's really quite a powerful one. And so I'm not just going to leave you in the lurch with especially some of the low scores that may have popped up. So what I'm going to do is tomorrow I'm actually going to do another video on how you can in fact start to believe these affirmations. And if you do have some low scores around those statements, confidence, then what you can do to start turning that around. So yeah, please go ahead, leave me a comment, let me know if any of those resonated with you, and I would absolutely love to see your scores. And then tomorrow I will help you out with some more believability tactics around those affirmations. Okay, awesome, Jens. Jens is saying that he'll check the replay and score them all. That is fabulous. I would love to see what resonates with people and where the challenges are, because then I can do more deep dive videos as well around those particular statements, because they do get linked to very specific self-limiting beliefs. So that's it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Leave me a comment and I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now.